This is the plaintiff, Mark Clark. He says he bought a 1998 BMW 740 from the defendant, who told him the car was in great condition and if anything went wrong, he'd fix it. Since the guy worked for BMW, he believed him and trusted him. Well, that was a mistake, because the car needs all kinds of expensive work, and he feels like he's been cheated. He's suing for $3,000, the cost of the repairs the car needs. This is the defendant, Rudy Stoddard. He says he did fix the guy's car a few times, but he thinks he can just bring the car in until the end of time and get it fixed for free. He's gone above and beyond, a call of duty helping this plaintiff out, but he certainly didn't give him a lifetime warranty or anything like that. He's accused of not telling it like it is. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $500 for defamation of character.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Mark Clark.
Yes.
You are suing Rudy Stoddard and his car repair shop. You've asked us not to mention the name of the shop, and we'll respect that, for $3,000. Your state maximum, you say you're out actually more than that in repairs that the car needs, and you feel that he misled you when he sold you the car.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on.
Well, Your Honor, I purchased a car from Rudy.
Did you two know each other before this?
Well, I know Rudy as a result of my beloved significant other is the aunt of his wife.
Oh, this is awkward. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's doing Thanksgiving?
Haven't been decided yet.
Okay. Do you folks spend Thanksgiving together?
Well, we spent quite a number of time of, back and forth at each other's homes. As
okay.
Well as,
have you been back and forth at each other's homes before or after this lawsuit got filed?
No.
Or this is sort of fresh right now?
I've been to the Poconos to see them, but...
Come on up to the... You've been...
well, once they got into this, I still went. Because that's my aunt.
To see them? Okay.
But he didn't come,
right.
Which was very uncomfortable.
Right.
But, family is family, so...
Family's family. And you two have been married how long?
A year.
Okay. So go on.
Well,
you bought a car from family.
I bought a car from Rudy. Mm-hmm. As a result of I was looking for another car. So as a result, it was told to me that he had a vehicle that he's been driving for several months, that he's interested in selling.
A personal vehicle, though?
Well, I'm not sure if it was personal or if it was part of the shop.
Well, you do know, because you bought it and you had to change the
title
title
Rudy's,
from...
Yeah,
okay, so was the title
Rudy's.
in his name? Okay.
Yeah. And as a result, I went down to see the vehicle, with family telling me, basically, it should be a good idea. If you're looking for a vehicle, it's best that you probably go through Rudy, being that he's been driving his vehicle, and he's a BMW mechanic for over 25...
And the vehicle was a BMW?
And the vehicle's a BMW for over 20-some years. So I came down, and Rudy and I went for a ride. I asked Rudy on several occasions, is everything okay with the vehicle? Is there any concerns? He told me, no, there's no concerns. I said, is everything operable on the car, working? He said, yes. Well, a couple of weeks later, I made the decision because an offer was given, an agreement was given, and that consideration that he says, in exchange of the money, I also got a promise that if there's any concerns with the vehicle, can I bring it back? Can I bring it to you? He said, you can bring it back to me and I'll fix any concerns.
Okay, wait, until when?
Well,
forever and ever?
No, he didn't, within a reasonable amount of time.
What's a reasonable amount of time?
Within the first 30 days.
So you want me to imply that there was a 30-day warranty?
Well, it wasn't said, but
okay.
it was a reasonable amount of time, and the reasonable amount of time was within 2 weeks of, he drove the vehicle to me. Within 2 weeks, I called Rudy and said, listen, I noticed that the engine light is on, and the low coolant level is coming on. Now, mind you, prior to him bringing the car to me, he hesitated to bring it, to conclude our business right away because he said, I'm putting a new radiator in, which is an indication that there must have been a problem with the coolant system in some form or way. And that was one of the concerns. I said, if there's any concerns with the vehicle, there's no problem bringing it back to you. Well, after 2 weeks...
Do you guys have a bill of sale? Like a bill of sale?
No, I don't. No.
You don't have a bill of sale? This is actually your business and you don't have a bill of sale? I know that it wasn't a business card, it was yours, but you don't actually just write something up?
Well, he faxed information.
Oh, is it a good idea or a bad idea to sell a car to family?
It doesn't really matter.
Really? Because I can't help but notice that you're in court and she's uncomfortable, and you're not just in court, you're in the people's court. Was it a good idea or a bad idea to sell a car to family, honey?
Well,
good idea or bad idea?
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, right? Because look at us.
I thought it was a bad idea from the jump because...
And you told them that.
Everybody in our family have BMWs. Everybody.
Right.
And even the teenagers and the college kids, they have BMWs. So everybody comes to him to get it fixed. And I'm like, it's a headache.
Right. They
So
all
as soon as
expect
I
it
knew
for
it
it
was
to be
getting
for
ready to
free.
happen, I was just like, okay, here we go. So it wasn't a surprise
And when
to
you
me.
say come to him to get it fixed, you mean these are the non-paying customers?
Well, they hardly pay anything.
Okay,
And
so
if
it's
they
in
do,
other words,
maybe they'll pay 10% on the part.
Right.
But we hardly charge labor
Right.
or
That's
anything.
what you mean by being, oh, here's another one.
And then it's always still a headache, and there's very little appreciation that, I just fixed your car for free anyway. So
Right.
whatever you do, if you go to the dealership,
Can't win.
you
Can't win.
can't win. So it's
Can't
kind
win.
of like...
Can't win. All right. So you buy the car, you don't have a bill of sale.
Well, can I say
Do you have a
something?
bill of sale?
No, I don't have one.
All right. And then what's the problem that you have?
Well, the engine light, the check engine light
goes
was
on.
on.
So you call him and you tell him, listen, the engine light went on. And what does he do for you? He tells you to come and bring the car up. All right. And then what do you do to the car?
I repaired anything that was wrong with
I know,
the
but
car.
what did you do to the car this first time that I'm talking
The
about?
first time he came with the car was several months later.
Several months later?
Yes.
Do you have any paperwork from when he brings the car in?
No.
Okay. You don't create paperwork with family?
The problem was, it wasn't really a problem. I said, just bring the car, take
I'm
care of
asking,
it.
do you have paperwork? I'm not asking your opinion on whether what he had wrong with the car was a
Not
problem.
for the first several times he brought the car, no.
Okay. So according to you, he brings it in months later, and what happens?
I looked at the car. He didn't come for coolant leak. He came because the CD changer wasn't working.
Okay.
I replaced the CD changer, no charge.
Okay.
Several weeks later, he called me and said the coolant light and the check engine light came on.
Okay.
Told him bring the car down. I changed the spark plugs and one bad ignition coil, which was about $320, no charge to him.
Okay.
He came down, he said he found a loose hose on the radiator. He tightened it up, so I gave him a gallon of coolant, a BMW coolant, a brand new gallon of coolant. He took the car, he called me several days later, he said, I'm leaking coolant still. So I said, bring the car in, no problem. This was like the 6th month of him owning the car.
Okay.
Bring the car and I'll check it, I'll pressure test it to see what was wrong. The new radiator, which was replaced about 7 months before he got the car, was still under warranty. So I replaced the radiator, which is like a $422 radiator. No charge to him, parts or labor or coolant.
Okay.
Gave him back the car. When he was there to pick up the car after we did the radiator job, he got in a heated conversation with a family friend that was at the office. She
About
works
what?
for me sometime.
About what?
We were having a party because we just had a young baby in the family on his side, his wife's grandson. So the baby was coming home from the hospital, so we are going to have a party at their house. So the conversation was about my friend BB was in the office bringing her kids, and he started talking bad about her kids. The kids are, whatever, they're rotten or whatever. And it became a really heated conversation.
Wait, he's telling that to the mother of the kids? He's saying that to the mother of the kids?
Yes.
Don't bring your kids because they're rotten?
Basically, if you do bring your kids, basically talking bad about the kids.
Right, you better watch
It turned
your
into a
kids.
heated conversation that went on for an hour.
Were you there?
I was on the phone.
Okay, stand up. Why don't you just stay standing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was called because
Were you there or weren't you? Did you hear this
I
conversation?
wasn't. I heard part of it because I was on. My
What part
aunt is
did you
his
hear?
secretary. So
Wait, your aunt, his wife is the secretary?
My aunt, my other aunt.
Another aunt. Okay,
my
go ahead.
other aunt is his secretary.
Okay.
So she called me. I'm usually like kind of the mediator to calm everybody down. So she called me and I heard all of this ruckus in the back and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, BB and Mark are getting into it. And I'm like, about what? They went up there for the party and one of BB's kids broke something that was very sentimental to him. So he basically said, you need to keep your kids in order. But it went to another level because Mark has a problem with cursing. So I think it probably went extra because of name calling and stuff. It got to the point that it was so much yelling in the phone. Oh, in the background, I'm like, are there customers there? Tina's like, yes, there's customers.
Oh my
I was like, have them stop. It's ridiculous.
So what do you do when you hear... Are you
I asked
there?
him to step out my office,
and
the argument continued in the work area.
Okay.
Then I went over there and I said, listen, I'm running a business. This can't continue. So then he turns to me and he said, this is not a business, this is a joke. you know, I brought my car here several times and you guys can't fix such a, you know what? And so I said, listen, Mark. And then he says, why am I still standing here? And I said, I don't know. You have your keys in your hand and the car is in the driveway. You know, but he was having such a heated conversation that he forgot I gave him his key a while ago, and he had the key standing there. And I said, you know, do me a favor. Since we're a joke, don't bring your car back here. I will no longer touch your car. Take it to a reputable dealership or somebody you know who's not a joke, like the local dealerships that are close by. But I will no longer be working on your car.
What happened? You have a situation where you can take the car over and over to get fixed. Months and months of free fixing. The rest of us would kill to be in that position. What happened there that day?
It was not months and months. First of all, the story is not totally what it is. I stood there when about 2 weeks prior to him bringing the car up to Pennsylvania.
Can you tell me what happened on the scene that day? Because that's what I'm asking you.
He was putting the radiator
No,
in.
I want to know exactly the answer to my question. What happened there at the shop?
At the shop, my son brought me.
Come on up.
Brought me to the shop that day to pick up the vehicle.
Okay.
Inside the office, the person in question, don't even want to mention their name, the young lady I was talking about was getting ready to tell me she's, you know, about her children when they were up at the house. And I told her that your children, you know, wrote on the banister, broke a chess piece and a special piece that's fond to me. My mother passed in 2010.
Sorry.
Something that she held, you know, close to her. They broke that. So in our conversation of me telling her about, you know, certain things I'm not used to growing up with my children. When my children had anyone that came to the house that I have to speak more than my children, they can't come no more.
Okay, but I don't think we're here really to debate whether that particular lady's children were unruly. What I'm asking is what happened at the place. I'm going to assume that they were savages.
As a result of that, she escalated it to a point, and I just followed and escalated it.
So, were there curse words being thrown back and forth?
Yes.
Come on, so hold on 1 second, son. Listen up. I know you got to go home with him, but you're under oath with me.
No,
so your dad got a bad temper?
On both parts.
Stop a second.
I don't have a bad temper.
Wait, your dad wanted to answer that for you. He didn't really want you to go ahead and answer. Dude, don't even bother. I'm not even going to put you in that position.
No, he can answer.
How bad did it get?
Well,
I'm not talking to you. Do you have an off button? Is there an off button on you? Let's press it.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever sell a used car to a family member? Ma'am?
As long as it's reliable, why not?
Sure. Okay, can anybody tell this woman why not?
Oh, because I've drove my car a lot. I got it really dirty. I wouldn't want to give that to a friend.
Well, you can always wash the car, but who would not? Who would not sell? Why?
Because if something goes wrong with it, they're going to blame you for it.
And it ruins the family relationship.
Definitely. You don't want any that drama or anything.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay. Tell me, how bad did it get?
It started off pretty mild, and then two people with, I guess you could say, tempers, that's when it kind of escalated. It was all contained within their office.
Right.
And then once one person leaves out, she said that I can't take this anymore. She actually walked out, and then that's when she continued it. And of course, my father is a pretty stern person. So
I got that impression. And so it continued. But in any event, were you witness to the conversation between Rudy and your father?
Yes, I was actually out there.
Tell me about that.
Rudy actually commented, I would have to say maybe 45 minutes or so after the argument started, that I'm trying to run a business here. Can you please take this outside?
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe trigger words must have heard the fact that he said, I'm trying to run a business here. And he probably just thought of the many times which he had to bring the car there, and that's when it started with actually if you're running a business.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty then. So now we have it. We don't really have much dispute over what it is that happened. We have you buying a car from him. We have you bringing the car to him every time there's something wrong, never getting charged for anything that got fixed. It's a used car from a private party, so it's an as-is sale, unless you can prove otherwise. And you can't prove otherwise because you don't have any written warranty that you're claiming that he gave you.
Well, I have his verbal commitment.
Did you ever say, I'll just fix whatever's wrong with the car from now in perpetuity, despite the fact that you call what I'm running here as a business a joke? I mean, do you understand that you're completely at his mercy? Every time he fixes that car, Unless you can prove that you, in fact, have a warranty, I can't enforce something that doesn't exist. Now, the fact that the guy wants to be a nice guy, just bring it in, I'll help you out, like he helps everybody else out in the family. Do you think you can look at the man and say, this is a joke, and not have a consequence? Is that the world you live in? I don't think so. I don't think you get as far as you've gotten not having consequences. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, Your Honor, like as I was saying earlier, the vehicle was brought to him 2 weeks after driving. And
you have a counterclaim against him for what? For $500 for defamation. For what?
Well, the way he talked about my business in front of customers, saying, you know, my business was a joke and we can't fix it.
Can you prove that you lost any business as a result of that? Can you prove that you lost any business as a result of that?
I'm not sure, but it really...
Okay. Now, if you're not sure, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you prove that you have... Watch this. Does he have a warranty?
No.
Okay. So, and you say you do. He says you don't. Can you prove you have a warranty other than flapping gums again?
I don't have nothing in writing, Your Honor. But once again, Honor, it was the same problem that existed 2 weeks after driving the car that still exists to this day.
Mr. Clark, I want you to understand what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is extremely simple. You do not possess a warranty. You don't. Because you keep saying you do, and he keeps saying you don't. And you, no, press the off button. And you don't have any proof that you do. And I have a situation where there's a guy who admittedly just keeps letting the family come on in and fixing stuff and doing it either at cost or very little, or in your case, just over and over again without charging you because he wants to keep peace, into one critical moment in life, when you insult him. And when you insult him because you are heated up, that is fine. That is a privilege you have earned in your life, to go ahead and say what you want to say, but as with the rest of us, there are consequences to what we say. And the consequence is that there is no more Mr. Nice Guy on that end, and that you now have to prove, just like every other litigant, a warranty. You bought a personal car. By default, it's an as-is sale, and you cannot prove you have a warranty. So you are out of gas. Verdict for the defendant. You can't prove defamation other than that he's just complaining and mad out there. Okay, that one comment doesn't make out a defamation case. So on your lawsuit against him, 0. That's my verdict. Good luck on Thanksgiving, everybody.
Well, here comes the plaintiff. Step right over here and tell me what's going through your mind now that you've lost this case this way.
No, I don't feel justified, because the key thing is there was nothing but perjury that was stated. That as far as the radiator was put in prior to me coming, and as far as the over-exaggeration of thinking someone's getting something over and over against free services, the key thing is within the first couple of weeks of me driving the vehicle, the problem existed, the problem was presented to him, and the reason why it kept coming each month is because he never fixed the problem.
It was the same problem over and over.
And I have paperwork that they didn't even look at, which basically stated that the BMW people did a diagnostic on it for the same problems that was never fixed or addressed. So I'm not too pleased.
Okay. All right. So you step on in here and tell me how you're feeling about the outcome here. It's your family going around the corner there.
Well, you know, he's going to be who he is. Some things never change. I've stood there.
Was he always like that?
Yes.
Oh, it's worse.
He's a chameleon. This is his best day. But however, I stood there. I bent over backward to accommodate him. It's my own personal.
You should specify in a warranty, any warranty. If you're going to issue one, it should be specified the length.
Well, you know, the warranty wasn't from the company. It was privately. And the truth is, he probably would still be getting his car fixed right now if he wasn't disrespectful, because he's family. And he said that the same problem occurred.
Is he invited to Thanksgiving?
He's always welcome. He's my family.
No, always welcome.
But at the end of the day, he said the problem's been occurring since 2 weeks.
I know. Harvey?
You know, and you can have the best of intentions when you sell a car to a family member, and the car that you owned may have been in perfect running order, but if suddenly something goes wrong, they're just not going to believe you. And it doesn't matter what it was really like. It's their perception that something was wrong when you sold it. And that's what destroys family relationships. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.